Be excited that we're done catching. We are all done with catches for Pokemon Red, so now we just need to evolve the couple of guys that we got. Okay, so Sandy and Chicky are done. Roarlith and Fluffy, we can't do. Okay, two of these four Mankeys will have to become Primeapes. I'm thinking Ape Shits and Neanthal. Mew.5. Mew.5, I think, has to say a Mankey because it was named based off the sprite. And, yeah. So I'm gonna go with Neanthal and Apeshit. I do need to evolve one Oddish. And I think based off of the names, we're gonna go with Rubbish here. And then let's evolve... Juanito is like a name that you would get, like, as I understand it, Ito is like for boys. Right? Javi, correct me if I'm wrong here, but like you wouldn't put Ito into a man's name, right? I'm just trying to decide which of these four Ekans is gonna be the one to evolve. 4 a.m. Oh man, yeah, get your sleep, man. No, but I mean like as far as like kind of age goes, like you wouldn't go up to like an adult man and call him Juanito, right? Saying something in a cute way. Because I feel like Slitherboy has to stay on Ekans. I was going to say before these comments came in, loading, I hope you have a good night, you get your sleep. Rest is important. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope we can see you again soon. If you know them long enough, you props can. Interesting. I don't know why I'm thinking so hard about this. I think Twix I'm gonna evolve. Oh, we're out of Pokemon to take. Okay, we got more time to think about it. Do I take the experience all? I just want to see what it looks like using the experience all with a full team. So if you know them long enough, you would probably add Ito onto the end there. But you see, we just met Juanito today, so I don't think we're on quite that level yet. If he became a man, to keep calling him Juanito, you know. You catching my logic here? Maybe I'll do Slitherboy. Slitherboy can probably still be a whatchamacallit. Oh, I didn't mean to keep emo plants. Okay. Good thing I just saved. Right, so I'll have 2 Ekans, 1 Oddish, and 2 Mankey to evolve. Yeah, that is 5 Pokemon on the dot. I'm gonna do Slitherboy. But so hopefully this goes pretty quickly. Leveling up all 5 of them at once. Our Ekans and our Oddish only need 1 level. Unfortunately, our Mankeys, depending on what their levels are, need 8 to 10. So we shall see here how much XP are we gonna get. That is gonna take forever. Okay. XP all garbage item. Maybe if I get it early enough and use it while I'm still going through the game, it'll be more worth it? I don't know. I've realized as I've been editing streams... Sweet! So Rubbish will evolve now. That I tend to switch out Pokemon extra times. Back on up to Titty. So we are starting with Twix. Just so that is in my brain hole. Alright, we got 2 Evos here. Excellent. I am going until I'm done. I don't work tonight, so I don't have any kind of time constraint that says, hey, I need to leave right now. So Twix is good, so I still need to evolve Slitherboy here, and then Apeshit Neanderthal, and Neantal. And then once I'm done with them, hopefully I'll have enough money to buy all of the stones that are required. Yeah, extra long stream. I mean, we're still shorter than last week. Believe it or not. Last stream was like 3 hours and like 55 seconds, so just under 3 hours and 1 minute. So we still got another 35 minutes to go before we break that. So can we do this in 35 minutes? We shall see. Alright, so hopefully Slither Boy here will evolve maybe by the third Pokemon? Nice! Yep, 3 Pokemon in. Alright, it's time for 8 shit to get some levels here. I'm mildly upsetty that Apeshit didn't gain a level off of that. Just mildly. Just a little upsetty spaghetti. Just a little angry mom spaghetti. That should be a level, right? Yeah. This might take a while. I think they evolve at level 28. I'm gonna look that up while Slither Boy is evolving here. Since we gotta keep hands off anyway. Yeah, 28. This back sprite still just, like, does not make sense to me. And I don't think it ever will, honestly. Nice. I'm hoping to get at least 3 levels off of Agatha and Lance. Dude, I don't know. Hold on, let's take a hot look at the back sprite here. No, because I think those are its ears popping up, like, at the tip of its head, but, like, what is going on with his hands? That's noodle as fuck, man. Like, there are no bones in those arms. Cherboy is getting a little tired. I was up real late today finishing the video that had to go up because, honestly, I spent a lot of time last week watching Yu-Gi-Oh! So, really cut into my editing time there. So it all came down to today. But yeah, Eric, you know what's up with that Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0. Anybody who doesn't know about Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, the author originally intended Yu-Gi-Oh! To go in a completely different direction where the Pharaoh was like the king of games in general and not of duel monsters. And duel monsters just became such a popular part that it eventually became what the show, or what the story was about. But yeah, I really liked it. I really liked the last couple of episodes. Bakura really kind of felt, to me, a little shoehorned in there at the end. Because the whole thing against Kaiba really felt like the big thing of the show, and that's what it all led up to, and then at the end it's just like, okay, now we have Bakura in here, he has another Millennium item, and now he's the evil guy for 3 episodes. It was still really cool, though. I really liked the D&D-esque game that they played. What do you mean he's set up for the next big bad? They're done with it. They took care of the Millennium Ring already. Like, even if there was going to be a season after Season 0, like, Bakura's done. His story as the evil guy is done. I know there's other Millennium items. Are you still talking about for Season 0? Because that's all I'm talking about right now. Is there more to Season 0 beyond just the 27 episodes? Was there a Season 0.2? Because I'd be down for that. I had such a great time watching it. Honestly. The manga story is based off Season 0. Well, wasn't Season 0 more based off the manga, and then the dual monster aspect of it became so popular that that's what the story became about? Or does the Season 0 storyline continue more in the manga? Show, I hard agree with you right there. In fact, me watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Again is all because I want to go up and watch 5Ds. I know I don't have to watch through the OG Yu-Gi-Oh to understand what's going on in 5Ds, but I was kind of like, when I watched 5Ds as a child when it was new on TV, I only caught so much of it because, you know, that's what you have to deal with when you're watching broadcast television. What I did catch and what I know about this story is really cool. It feels like the most comprehensive Yu-Gi-Oh series, at least of what I've seen. I've seen part of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. I've seen a couple episodes of GX, which, yeah, it is kind of a fever dream. And then I've seen a lot of 5Ds. And I was just kind of like, you know, I kind of want to watch 5Ds. Like, from beginning to end, get all of the story, and enjoy it as much as I did as a young teenager. But then I was like, I know that, like, all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series are within the same universe. Like, 5Ds isn't separated from Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just further in the future. And I was like, you know, I haven't watched the OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters since I was like 10. I was like, why don't I go ahead and watch the OG Yu-Gi-Oh! I haven't decided if I'm gonna watch GX in between Yu-Gi-Oh! And 5Ds, but we'll see. Dude, I know absolutely nothing about Zexal, Vrains, and Arc V. Those are just way too out there to me. But so, I started watching the OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, and the first two episodes feel like an entire season crammed into 40 minutes. There's no context to anything. Because think about episode 1 of OG Yu-Gi-Oh!, okay? In that we are introduced to the game of Duel Monsters. We are introduced to all of the main characters. We are introduced to Kaiba. We get the whole concept of Kaiba Corp's way to make games, to like bring the games to life. Kaiba learns that Yugi's grandpa has the 4th Blue Eyes White Dragon, which he wants so that it can't be used against him. So he kidnaps Yugi's grandpa, steals the card, wins the card off of him, tears it up. Then him and Yugi all have a duel. Yugi summons Exodia, turns into the Pharaoh, which is never actually explained in the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, and then mind crushes Kaiba to get rid of his evil heart or whatever. That is all the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, it is so much to digest in 20 minutes. No, he doesn't do the puzzle at all. He just has it already in the first episode. Because basically, episode 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is retconning all of Season 0 to fit the complete Duel Monsters timeline now. And any context, such as the Millennium items in general, the Pharaoh, how they all became friends, any of that is all set up in flashbacks throughout the next couple of episodes. Yeah, there's the flashbacks are split up over like the couple of episodes, but yeah, then episode 2 is where Pegasus comes in. I don't know what I'm learning here. I was talking and just pressing the A button. I really don't care. But yeah, then in episode 2, Pegasus learns that Kaiba was defeated, is revealed to be the creator of Duel Monsters, has another Millennium item, traps Yugi's grandpa in a VHS tape, duels Yugi through a VHS tape, forces him to go to the Duel Island. What is it called? Duelist Kingdom or something? All of that is episode 2. And episode 2 is like what's really setting up the rest of the series. But like episode 1 and 2 should have been like 10 episodes. It is just so much to take in 2 episodes. Well, then it's episode 2 and episode 3. At least when I watched it on Hulu, it was all of that was in episode 2, and it was a full 20-ish minute episode. Not to mention that the whole point of changing the Yu-Gi-Oh storyline to Duel Monsters was because the game was so popular. There is so much cheating going on in Yu-Gi-Oh because they don't understand the rules yet. I don't think they. It's really interesting that the burn animation is the poison animation. Ooh, yeah. I don't. But in the very first episode, Kaiba freaking summons Blue Eyes White Dragon, all 3 of them, without tributing anything. He's just like, they're on the field now! Yeah, there's field bonuses, which were a callback to Season 0, where the Duel Monsters of Season 0 used field bonuses and stuff. But, like, in Yugi's duel against Weevil, one of the big problem things is that Weevil's insect monsters are being powered up by the forest field bonuses. And so Yugi summons, like, a dragon or whatever and attacks, and Weevil is like, heh heh, my monster has more power. And Yugi is like, joke's on you, I wasn't attacking the monster, I was attacking the forest field, which turns it into a wasteland, so now you don't get the power bonus anymore. It is, oh my god. Have I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged? I've watched a little bit of it. I keep, like, meaning to go through... Yeah, attack the freaking moon. I keep wanting to be caught up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, but then I just stop watching it for a while, never come back to it. He doesn't rip up Exodia, he does throw all of the pieces into the ocean, though. And I googled it just out of curiosity, like, what happens to the rest of Exodia. And apparently that's it. Like, they introduce Exodia in episode 1 as this mythic god creature that you just win if you're able to summon him. I think it's a little wishy-washy, but I think officially there's only one Exodia in existence, and all of the other Exodias are fakes or copies. But yeah, they introduce Exodia in episode 1, and then they're immediately like, okay, this is too powerful for our protagonist with plot armor to just have an insta-win in his deck. So Weevil just fucking yeets the cards into the ocean, and Joey dives in. Oh, I'm going down here. We're on Blastoise. Recovers 2 of the 5 pieces, and then the other 3 pieces are just lost to the ocean, and then that's it. But watching those first 2 episodes was like such a clusterfuck and such a mindfuck for me that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch Season 0 just for even a little bit of context. I know it's its own thing, but I'm just gonna watch. And it was a really fun time. I would highly recommend anybody who likes Yu-Gi-Oh! To just watch Season 0. What about Penguins? I'm not that far, okay? I'm 5 episodes into Duel Monsters. You gotta love Penguin Soldier. I remember when I tried to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! In high school, I had, like, some basic-ass water deck. Did I watch the movie... Are you talking about Bonds Beyond Time? Pyramid of Light is way older than 2017, I think, though. I did watch Pyramid of Light a long-ass time ago. No to what? No to me or no to Triple? Oh, Dark Side of something. Oh, Dark Side of Dimensions. No, I have not. I've watched the actual Pyramid of Light, and I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged Bonds Beyond Time, which is one of the best things ever. But no, I don't think I've ever seen Dark Side of Dimensions. I'm not, like, super into Yu-Gi-Oh! The game, and I haven't watched it since the occasional episode of 5Ds as a young teenager. But I used to play it, as I'm sure most children of the 90s have, when I was a small child. Kind of fell out of it for a while, got into Magic, preferred Magic, and then I tried to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! In high school, and I had this, all the way back here, and we had a card game club at my high school that I played Magic in, and but a whole bunch of my friends played Yu-Gi-Oh! And they were like, oh, you should play too, so I got myself just a basic deck, got myself some boosters, upgraded it a little bit, and I remember my first game with it, my turn 1 play was a card in face down defense, and then I think I laid down like 2 traps or something. My opponent's turn 1 play was a whole bunch of bullshit that I cannot verify whether or not it was actually correct, but I feel like with how broken Yu-Gi-Oh! Tends to be, that it probably was. He summons out 2 fucking XYZ monsters on his first turn, hits my face down defense monster, which was a penguin soldier. So I was like, haha, that goes back to your hand. And then he killed me next turn, and he was like, you want to play again? I was like, fuck no, I'm going to play Magic. This sucks. No disrespect on anybody who actually enjoys playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, but I do not. Dude, I never actually learned how to play the Pokemon TCG as a kid, but I did at some point play the Pokemon TCG video game for Game Boy, and that is the only time I have ever played the TCG legitimately. But then I remember in college, I had a friend who was like super into Yu-Gi-Oh! And he was trying to show me like all the different ways to summon stuff now. And by now I mean then. There's probably more ways. I wouldn't doubt it. I know about fusion summoning. I know about ritual summoning. I know about synchro summoning. I know that XYZ summoning is a thing, but I don't know what it is. I've just seen it in that one game, but I do not understand the concept of XYZ monsters. Yeah, and then he told me about freaking pendulum summoning. And I looked at this, I was like, so you're telling me that you get your stuff out right here, and then you can just summon whatever the fuck you want for free, basically. And he was like, yeah, it's great. And I was like, no, that's dumb. And then the link summoning, or whatever, where they straight up changed the fields so that there's those like 2 positions in between your 2 sides of the fields now, or whatever. That I still don't understand how the hell that works, and you have to use like link monsters to be able to special summon or extra summon into other spaces and stuff, and like you can go around the board into your opponent's. I was like, they're trying to do too freaking much. Like, just stop. I was like, I really feel like you hit the nail on the head with synchro summoning. It made sense. You need tuners, and you need other monsters. They need to be able to equal the star level of the monster you're trying to summon. Fusions made sense, rituals made sense, where it was like, you are required to have these cards to summon these monsters. Beyond that, though, I don't get it. I will say, though, what I did not understand about 5Ds was card speeds. Because I know that was, like, kind of the point of card games on motorcycles, was that, like, how fast you were going affected what kind of spells you could do. But I didn't understand how that all correlated or what it meant. I'm just evolving these primates right now. Only thing I like in Modern is Sunship decks where the cards are battleships that look like sushi. So you like the art. That the art is what you like about Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Which I think is a fair thing to say. Okay, Ape Shit is done. I'm hoping Neon Fall will be... Oh, I've only got 50 more seconds to be done before last stream. Can I do it? Let's see how badly they censored her. I mean, I can just look at that now. I feel like there's not a reason that I have to be in GX for it. In fact, now that you say it, I am kind of curious. Burst Matrix. I can only imagine that this card is in some way references to a dominatrix, which I can understand America not wanting to have in a game made for children. Damn, she just straight up has a titty out, huh? Like, there's no nipple there, but that is just, she is just straight up supposed to have a titty out. Yeah, I feel like I can understand a little bit about them wanting to censor that. Kind of like I learned, interestingly, when I was looking up the clip for. Oh, I didn't even look at what the new one is. I should look at that. I forgot to turn off battle animations. When I was trying to find the episode where Ash catches just a shit ton of Tauros in the Safari Zone, I learned that that episode was actually cut from the series when it came to when it was translated to English for an American audience because Ash is held at gunpoint in the Safari Zone, and they were like, "Nope, can't show guns to kids." But I mean,
this is America.
Guns are everywhere. It's really strange though because like I remember it so well. When they go to the Safari Zone and there is just like a stampede of Tauros and Ash is trying to catch other Pokemon in the Safari Zone but just keeps catching Tauroses because they keep jumping in the way. And apparently that episode never aired in America. Why do you think that looks terrible? They literally just put more clothes on her. Eric, you just want to see big titties on your cards, and you know it. Oh, are you talking about in the anime and not on the card? Did they like frame by frame just hit the fill tool with red and it just looks like blocky red? Because I can see that being bad. Yeah, that I can see that being bad. 4 levels to go. We're on Bruno right now. We should definitely be able to evolve by Lance. And then we just have to run on over to the department store, grab some stones. Man, I don't know how the last, like, 20 minutes of this stream just became talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, but here we are. Moral of the story, Yu-Gi-Oh is just a fever dream. I mean, it's literally just evolving this last Mankey. Yeah, I'm way past 3 hours now. It's literally just this last Mankey, and then hopefully because of all these Elite Four runs, we'll have the money that we need for 4 stones. We evolved the last couple of things we need, and then that's it. So we're pretty close to done. I was going to say something. I don't remember what it was. I was gonna say something before I saw your comment. What was I talking about? Yeah, we'll definitely evolve by Lance, and then we can just go down to Jola, and then we'll be done. And we'll be done in rings. Done and a half. 26. It would be awesome if I could actually gain the 2 levels here, because it would kind of suck going through Lance to get to just to get that 1 extra level when it would probably level up off of his Gyarados. Man, I cannot remember what I was gonna say, and it is just like eating at the back of my head right now. So thanks a lot, Eric. My favorite Pokemon is Eevee. I just really like Eevee. I have liked it a little less in recent years because there is just an almost obnoxious amount of like hype and attention around it, where it's kind of becoming like the Pokemon Company's secondary mascot. But I also really like Sandslash, which is going to be one of my favorite things about going into Blue. My least favorite Pokemon. That is a much harder question. I'm trying to think. There are so many Pokemon. Yeah, Javi, you keep going on about Lopunny. You keep doing that, my guy. I like can't think of like all of the Pokemon right now to be able to say what my least favorite is. No, show he likes Lopunny for the stats and nothing else. I like legit am blanking on so many Pokemon in existence right now to even say what my least favorite is. I was even like trying to think of some other favorites like from other generations, because Eevee and Sandslash are both Gen 1, and my mind is just gone. There's too much Yu-Gi-Oh in my brain right now. Okay, Sunkern is objectively the worst Pokemon in general, stats-wise especially. It's also just a fairly weak typing, but I feel like it's got enough of a cute factor to not be people's least favorite. You know what I mean? Oh man. I mean, yep, there it is, off the Gyarados. I really like Typhlosion. Typhlosion is a great Pokemon. Lugia is one of my favorite legendaries for sure. Least favorite, though. Oh, I actually do also really like Omastar. I don't know why, but like Nautilus creatures are just really interesting to me. Again, though, I'm listing a lot of Pokemon that I like, and can't think of one that I just absolutely hate. I'm really trying. I mean, if we're being real, Gen 1 Golbat is pretty terrifying. Zubat, in general, is a pretty hated Pokemon. Just for how much it freaking pops up all the time. Unknown is pretty garbage. As far as a Pokemon goes, it's got weak stats and can only learn one move that is a random type, basically. But what is my least favorite Pokemon? I really feel like I need to look at a list of Pokemon, because honestly, it being my least favorite is probably so my least favorite that I just can't even be bothered to remember it. Gen 5 completely are your least favorite? There are those weird monkeys. I like the legendaries in Gen 5, though. You know what really pissed me the hell off as a kid when Gen 5 was coming out? So it's black and white, right? And Reshiram, the white Pokemon, is the box legendary for black. And Zekrom, the black Pokemon, is the box legendary for white. And I thought that Zekrom looked cool as hell. And so I pre-ordered Pokemon Black at my GameStop because you got like a little figurine of the box legendary when yeah. And so I pre-ordered Pokemon White or Pokemon Black because I wanted the Zekrom figurine, only to go in and learn that Pokemon Black was for Reshiram, and so I was like, oh, I wanted the other one. Can I trade it in? But they only had enough figurines to get for the pre-orders. So I didn't get the Zekrom figurine for it. I didn't even get the Reshiram figurine for it because I asked to trade in Pokemon Black for Pokemon White, and dude just didn't give me the figurine, and how old even was I? When did Black and White come out? 2010. I was a mere 13 years old when Black and White came out. Dude, they didn't make Black and White a movie. They made Black and White 2 movies, and there is no difference between them. I watched both of them when they were on Netflix, because I was like, huh, I wonder what's different about this. Yeah, that's literally it. But like the thing is that one of them is the Pokemon of truths, and one of them is the Pokemon of ideals, which are 2 different things. They're supposed to be 2 different things. In the movie, the villain is like all about one of them, and then Ash is supposed to stand for the other one. And then they like team up with the legendary that represents that for like the big fight of the movie. But then without changing any of the character motives or anything, they literally just flop the legendaries for the other movie and flop which stance the 2 characters are supposed to take, even though their motives haven't changed at all. So it was meaningless the whole time. That's what I took out of it. Man, you know, I actually really did enjoy playing through Pokemon White, but all of this salt that I've been reminded of is really, really souring my tongue for Gen 5. Okay. It took a little longer to get through the Elite Four than I had thought it would. But we are done with that. How much muns do we got? We got plenty of muns. We might have just enough muns, actually. And now we need... Hot Dog, I feel like absolutely has to be an Arcanine. And maybe Fluffy. Just because the other two have Lith in the name. So I feel like they have to stay Growliths. And now we need to decide which Glooms are going to become Vileplumes. So we got Emo Plant definitely has to stay a Gloom. So it's between Spoosh, Gerard, and Rubbish. I kind of want to make Spoosh a Vileplume for no reason. And kind of Gerard. So I'm gonna do that. I had to get Cuddles. Totally forgot about Cuddles. Change a box. Withdraw! Let's go finish off this freaking game. You know, I probably could very, very quickly go and encounter Missing No. To end the stream and bring finality to Red. To encounter the famous glitch Pokemon. What do y'all think? Should we go find Missing No? Okay, so we need 2 Firestone. Oh, I thought they cost 4,200, so we are more than fine. Do it. Alright, we're gonna go get Missing No at the end of this. Very end. But first, Firestones on Hot Dog. Here's our Arcanine for blue or yellow. We can argue about where they'll go later. And on Fluffy. Because let's be real, Arcanine looks way fluffier than Growlithe. Look at that frickin' plume of a chest. Just want to cuddle up on that chest. I bet it'd be soft as fuck. Alright, and now Gerard. Imagine just like going to this guy and buying the stones, and then just whipping out your Pokemon and using them right away. Like, you don't even have the courtesy to head on outside or do it somewhere else. You're just like, cool, thanks. I demand your rocks. Those eyes look like they could stare into your soul. All right. I believe to begin the glitch, I have to go talk with the guy who gives you a catch tutorial in Viridian. So then we talk to this guy. Javi, no, we're gonna catch Missing No. So we have to go into this catch tutorial, and then basically what happens, this is going to make use of the Cinnabar glitch, so Joey, this will also help you understand it a little bit. It's fine. No, you should get your rest. You get your sleep. Thank you so much for stopping by, saying hi, and naming some mons. And you have a good work day tomorrow, my boy. Now we run on over to Cinnabar over here. So this is how this works. So this glitch is separate from the Missing No glitch, but you can use it to encounter Missing No. So when you surf, right over here, if you don't move forward, you'll see I'm kind of overlapping the shore. This one section over here is still in Cinnabar Island, but the tiles are able to have encounters. But because there isn't any route data for it to pull encounter data from, look at that. We got it. 128. There it is. There's the buoy. Missing No. But so the tiles are programmed to be able to have encounters on them. But because we're still in Cinnabar Island, there is no route data for it to gather encounter data from. To gather an encounter table from. And so whatever the last encounter table was stays loaded into memory. So you can actually use this glitch to catch Pokemon from anywhere. So this is what I was talking about when I was in the Safari Zone, where I was like, oh man, I really want to use the Cinnabar glitch right now. Is if my last location was the Safari Zone, its encounter table is the last one that stays loaded in memory. So when I go over here, the tiles are going to pull from the encounter table of the Safari Zone, and that allows you to catch Pokemon from the Safari Zone in the wild without having to rely on using Safari Balls. You can actually battle them and try to catch them that way. But how we get Missing No here is when you talk to the guy who does the catch tutorial with the Weedle, that is the only spot in the game where the encounter table is literally one item long. Everywhere else, it's anywhere between 4 and 8 items long. I think in here it's 4 just because of some of the stuff that I was seeing on Bulbapedia. Yeah, I think the encounter table in Gen 1 is 4 items long. But when you go to the guy, the encounter table is only 1 item long, and that 1 item is the Weedle. And so the other 3 areas are filled up with your name data. And it takes the 2nd, 4th, and 6th letters of your name to fill, quote unquote, that data in. And so, depending on what your name is, you can create different encounter tables. And so, because the 2nd letter in my username is A, that correlates to Missing No on that encounter table. They really are. I mean, they're so unbelievably small memory-wise. Now, I'm trying to remember, like, how many, like, the stats of this particular Missing No. But they had to take so many programming shortcuts to make these games work, you know? Like, if I just use Swift on it. Cool! We got a crit. This is the optimal place for grinding. Did you see that experience? But we are catching Missing No, so that ain't gonna cut it. Hopefully we're gonna encounter more Missing No's. And now look at all them Ultra Balls. Infinite Ultra Balls. No, there's obviously only so many combinations of stuff that you can do, and I do have a Missing No on my copy of Blue for the Virtual Console, so its catch rate is definitely not 0. I just noticed the Electrode is also level 128. There we go. Oh, this is M! This is actually a different glitch Pokemon. Very similar to Missing No, obviously, because of the sprite. Wow, I didn't know that my name could generate M as well. I don't entirely know if it's safe to catch, but we'll try it. How much HP does he have? Okay. 0 experience, baby. Yeah, it could be a reference to that. It is called 'M. Just a normal-ass level 23 Voltorb. I'm really trying to remember the stats, because I do think that they had absolutely garbage stats. It seems to be power plant data, encounter data. Oh, we already got Mew. We got Mew a fat while ago. I can go and pull it up in the box. If you stick around to watch Pokemon Yellow when I eventually do that, we're going to be doing the Mew glitch in every game, so you'll get to see it in action. This is a long stream, and the only reason it's still going is because I want to catch Missing No. Because you all told me to! You know what Joey told me to, and he doesn't even appear to be in chat right now. I'm not gonna try too much longer. I'll probably try to get one more glitch encounter, and then we'll leave it at that. I'll pull out Mew for show, and then we will end it there. I will say, though, if we end up getting killed by these level 128 Electrodes, we'll also end it there. Oh, man. They are not very plentiful encounters, these glitch Pokemon, huh? Technically true, sure. But when you also consider that there's... how many is it? Like 104 different glitch Pokemon? Because there's 151. There's data, quote-unquote, for 255. Or is it 256? It might go up to 256. I think it does. I think it goes 0 to 255, because I think that there is a Pokemon 0. But yeah, there are 104 glitch Pokemon. I don't think I got onto another table because I'm still encountering level 128 level Electrodes. And the only way that you actually move onto another table is if you go into another area for the encounter table to be overwritten. And the only place I'm going to do that here is if I move a little bit further into the ocean. Alright, this is my last attempt at catching a glitch. What's really funny about this missing no, I think, is it has water gun twice. If you miss the Pokemon, it means that its current catch rate is so low that you just don't even have a chance of the ball actually keeping it. That is a thing. It only happens, really, as far as I know, with the legendaries and with Chansey. Ooh, so we are in catch range now. It's too weak to really do much damage to Titty, and I have like 300 Ultra Balls right now, so... I know it says 6, but it's not 6. There's just a blank tile next to it. I'm just kind of realizing that my Twitch tags are a little misleading right now if anybody comes in, because I tagged this as glitchless, and here we are catching the most notorious glitch Pokemon. I feel like I need it to be... Nice! We got us missing no. I feel like I gotta leave it as missing no, you know? Unless somebody has a really good name. So does somebody have a really good name to give missing no? Found no or Jeff? I like both of those, is the problem. Best of both worlds, Jeff with a J, but that's how it's spelled. Could you imagine if somebody said my name is Jeff, spelled with a J, and that's what they meant by it? I'm going with that now. Look at that sprite. That just looks terrifying. I don't know why I'm deciding to write it in this form of caps. That's just what I'm doing. It's me! Look at that, look at that. 253 health. Look at this. It is a bird type. That is the kind of duct tape that this game is put together with, is that when bird was turned into flying, it was just left in the game. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to hit it with Titty, even though it was super high level. It has 12 defense. And 20 special, which is why Water Gun didn't do anything. But then 355 attack. And Titty was still able to take that hit. Look at that, 2 instances of Water Gun. Truly amazing. And truly no better way to end this off. So that is it for Pokemon Red. We finally got us our Dragonite. We got us all of our trade Evos. I'm not going to put Jeff into the PC, because I do know that there is a glitch Pokemon and possibly a form of missing no, where if you put it into the PC it corrupts your game. So I've got to research that a little bit before I do it. But we got us all of our trade Evos, we got us all of our red exclusives. I'm just gonna try to find Mew to show if they're still here. But that is it. We are all done with red. The only thing left in this game is just trading in other Pokemon. As far as progress for red goes, it's done. We are all done. But thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to all of the people who have followed me this stream, my new follows. Thank you everybody for joining me in chat, keeping up the convos, giving up the names. Yeah, almost 4 hours. This is the longest I've ever streamed. Totally worth it. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. And I will catch you guys in the next video.